Namaste and welcome to Vinyasa Flow Yoga. For today's practice, you'll want to have a couple blocks if you have that around and a strap just in case. My name is Michelle Chua. Let's begin in Hero's Pose if that works for your body. You may like to sit on a block right between the ankles to give the knees a little more ease in this posture. Otherwise, you might sit directly on your calves. And if this posture does not feel appropriate for your body, as with any of the physical practice, please make sure that you are adjusting in the way that you need to, choosing a different version of a posture or even opting out. Use your props as you need. With that being said, this whole week we are highlighting the fourth of the 8 limbs of yoga, pranayama, sometimes or often translated as breathing techniques to regulate our energy. Here is a translation from the Yoga Sutras. The fourth type of pranayama transcends the external and internal pranayamas and appears effortless and non-deliberate. It's helpful to remember that these practices from the first limb of yoga to the 8 limbs of yoga move us from our attention to the outside world, from the yamas, to more and more into our inner world as we go deeper into stages of meditation. And so pranayama is that bridge that brings us deeper into that meditation part of the practice. So here's an explanation from Meditations from the Mat. For many of us, the first experience we have with this sort of transcendent breathing comes in asana, the physical postures. I have also experienced it while training for marathons. It is the moment when concentration gives way to meditation. Initially, we are focused on the technique. The mind becomes centered through concentration. We often stay right here at this level, moving in and out of distraction, moving in and out of concentration. If our concentration quiets us enough, though, something powerful happens. Where until now we have sought out experience, suddenly experience seeks us out instead. We cross a threshold and meditation overtakes us. Like nightfall in a forest, one moment there is a blue-gray light, the next moment we are in darkness. In meditation, effort ceases and we no longer are the doer. Our breathing carries on without our volition, drawing us deeper into the moment with each breath. As our minds become still, we become the calm forest pool. In action, in action. This is not a mountain to climb or a grade to get. It is a place within you that you are already experiencing. Your practice merely opens the door so that you can return to the sacred place. Just take a moment to digest that. Seeing our practice, such as pranayama, as a way to open the door and return to that sacred place within us that already is here. Begin to notice how you're feeling in your physical body right now. Observing any sensations. Sense the movement of the breath, just as it is. And feeling its qualities, what do you notice about your energy? Become aware of your mind and heart. What is your mental and emotional state as you begin your practice? Let's start to slow the breath down, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Inhaling slightly deeper. And once again, through the mouth, letting it go. As you continue to deepen the breath, invite you into a practice of gratitude by just reflecting on what you appreciate in your life right now. Begin to clarify your intention for your practice today. What are you opening yourself up to experience? And letting go of any specific outcome, and thinking of those around us that our practice could also benefit. I invite you to choose someone you might like to dedicate your practice to today. And together, let's join our voices to create resonance by chanting Om 3 times. Let in a deep breath. As we focus a bit more on the breath today, let's begin with a pranayama that helps to cleanse the lungs and bring clarity of mind. And it can also feel energizing, preparing us to warm up. It's called bellows breath or Bhastrika pranayama. And it's done by breathing just through the nose. So the mouth is closed, both in and out. And you fully breathe in where you're using your diaphragm and expanding your entire rib cage and the belly, and you completely breathe out. So equal length and depth in breath and out breath rhythmically. And there's a physical action or kriya you could also do while practicing this breathing technique. That's bending the elbows apart at the height of your shoulders relaxed, and making fists with your hands. And as you breathe in, you straighten the arms overhead, spread the fingers. And as you breathe out, you bend the elbows towards the side ribs and refist the hands. So it sort of looks like this. So when you practice it, try to create a brisk pace that you can sustain for 1 minute long of this practice. I'm going to keep track of the time, so let's prepare to start. Bellows breath. If you're going to add the kriya, get the elbows ready. Ready? Begin. Twenty more seconds. And relax, breathing naturally. Observe how you feel. And then preparing us to move into our postures, let's begin another pranayama called Ujjayi pranayama, victorious breathing. And this one helps us to balance our exertion so that we're not over efforting or under efforting. We have a balanced energy as we physically move the body, and it helps to calm and steady our mind bodies. So it's done by closing the lips, again, just breathing through the nose, and softly constricting or gently narrowing the back of the throat so that you're creating a very subtle and smooth whispering sound that you can listen to in the breath. While you breathe in very slowly and breathe out just as slowly. So you're balancing the length in and out. Listen to a few cycles of that now and see if you can very gently expand to the very top of the in-breath, taking your time without pausing, smoothly transition to the very bottom of the out-breath. Establishing a gently audible, slow rhythm. Now in our physical practice, we're going to be opening up the fronts of the shoulders quite a bit, bringing them into extension. So let's start with a posture that does that. Come on up to stand at the top of your mat, stepping the feet at least hips width apart and parallel to each other. Now bringing the arms behind you so the shoulders are in extension, clasp your hands, and if you can, hug the heels of your palms together. Stay attuned to your breathing. Now you can also hold a strap between the hands if that's easier to get a wider range of motion when you lift the hands away from the lower back. Now as you breathe in, roll the shoulders further behind you and tilt your chest up. As you breathe out, bend your knees generously and hinge forward from the hips, inviting the feeling of a flat back rather than rounding the back. Dropping your head completely, softly shake and nod your head to loosen the neck. And as you're stretching the arms away from the lower back, bend your elbows slightly and lift your shoulders away from your neck, tilting your weight as far forward as you can balance to invite your sitting bones to stack right above the heels. Couple more deep breaths in this version of Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Now plant your fingertips onto the floor, your shins, or 2 blocks ahead of you. And as you breathe in, lengthen your chest through your upper arms into half forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana. Keep leaning forward and exhale, hinge from the hips. Uttanasana, forward fold. Press to the feet. Inhale, sweep your arms forward as you rise to stand, rolling your shoulders back and down. Urdhva Hastasana. As you breathe out, join your hands in prayer from your crown to your heart center. Remind yourself of your intention for this practice. And let's prepare to offer gratitude to the sun, sourcing all life on this planet with energy. Surya Namaskar Si. On your next inhale, sweep your arms forward into Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, bow forward from the hips, Uttanasana. Place your fingertips on the ground. Inhale, step the left knee behind you to a kneeling lunge. Look up. Holding your breath, step into plank pose. As you exhale, lower your knees, then your chest, then your chin in Ashtangasana. Inhale, slide forward and gently enter Cobra pose, softening the shoulders back. Exhale, press up, lifting your hips back into downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot beside your left thumb. Lower your right knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Rooting down to the feet, inhale, rise to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your palms in Padasana. One more time, side 2, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Plant the fingertips down. Inhale, step the right knee back this time in Anjaneyasana. Holding your breath, step into plank. As you exhale, Ashtangasana, lower knees, chest, then chin. Inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot beside your right thumb. Lower the left knee and gaze up. Exhale, step the left foot forward and bow. Rooting down, inhale, rise. Exhale, hands together, heart center. Let's keep flowing to the breath in sun salutation A. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, lengthen forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Step into your version of plank, and this time, as you breathe out, glide forward, lower halfway down and hug the elbows towards the ribs. Chaturanga Dandasana. As you breathe in, enter Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Allow a few breaths, if you need, to move your body in your own way here to loosen up. Listen to the quality of your breathing. Once you've emptied the next breath, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat, forward fold. Pressing with your hands, inhale, half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your hands in Padasana. Once again, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Step to plank or jump lightly to Chaturanga. Take it to your version of Vinyasa. When you arrive in downward dog, let's pause. Let the body be still for 2 cycles of breath. Feel the correlation of how you're breathing and how you're feeling. When you've emptied this breath, walk or float to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms overhead. Exhale, Padasana, hands in prayer, mountain pose. Let's prepare for sun salutation B, beginning with chair pose. So bringing your feet together so the big toes touch. On your next inhale, bend your knees together and lean towards your heels in Utkatasana. Then exhale, shift forward and fold Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step or float back, insert your vinyasa here. This time, inhale, raise your right leg behind you. Exhale, gently step the foot beside your right thumb and spin the left heel down. Inhale, rise up to warrior one. Let's pause here. We're gonna add a little detour, bringing the shoulders into extension. So as you keep your hips equally facing forward, backstroke your arms and clasp your hands behind your back. As you breathe in, roll the shoulders behind you. Feel the weight of your back heel pressing the earth and start to bow forward into humble or devotional warrior. Either resting on your front thigh or lowering the head towards your inner ankle, but keep drawing the right hip back, relaxing the neck, stretching the arms towards overhead. A few more breaths. On your next inhale, step back into plank pose, top of a push-up. Let the exhale draw you down into your vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, step the foot gently beside your left thumb and spin the right heel down. Inhale, rise up to Virabhadrasana 1. So with your hips equally facing forward and back heel grounded, backstroke your arms And maybe switch the cross of the thumb and index fingers as you clasp your hands. As you breathe in, draw your shoulders back. Then take your time bowing forward into humble or devotional warrior. Drawing the left hip back, releasing the neck as you stretch the arms forward. One more deep breath. On your next inhale, step back to plank and let the exhale bring you down through your vinyasa. When you arrive in Adho Mukha Svanasana, let the body be still as you recalibrate the breath for 3 to 5 cycles. Notice the effect on your mind when you intentionally slow down the breath and balance it out. When your breath feels a bit calmer and steadier, empty it before you walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat, forward fold, with feet touching. Then inhale, half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold again. Bend your knees together, inhale to chair pose. We're gonna add a twist here. So as you keep seated in chair, join your hands in prayer. And as you breathe out, start to rotate your chest to the right, little by little. Keeping each knee equidistant to the front edge of your mat. Make sure you're not turning the pelvis, rather you're turning the rib cage. You might hook the left elbow outside the right thigh or not, just seeing what's available for the last 2 breaths in Parita Utkatasana. Sit a little lower if you can, raising the arms in Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, rise up, mountain pose. Let in a deep breath here and let it go. Bend the knees again. Inhale, chair pose. Join your hands and exhale, begin to twist to the left, breath by breath. Last breath here. Sit a little lower. Inhale, Utkatasana. This time, forward fold. Let's step the feet apart, parallel, hips distance or wider, and give the outer wrists a stretch in Padahastasana. You might like to bend the knees so that you can reach. Lifting your toes, slip your palms face up under the soles of your feet. Try to get the toes to meet the inner creases of your wrists. Keeping your hands underneath, inhale, lift your heart through the gates of your arms. Keep lengthening forward as you bow from the hips, completely relaxing your neck and jaw. Lift the shoulders up, drop the head down. If you need some help unclenching the jaw, you might flutter the lips or sigh with a mouth wide in lion's breath. Sense how your energy feels at this point of your practice. How might you balance your energy? Choose to take another vinyasa, a few rounds of cat-cow, or step directly into downward facing dog. Let's meet there. When you arrive in downward facing dog, inhale, raise your right leg behind you. Exhale, step the foot gently beside the right thumb and stay high on the ball of your left foot. Inhale, rise up to crescent lunge. From here, backstroke the arms and place your hands on your lower back, pointing the fingertips down. Direct the tailbone downward and square both hips to equally face the front of your mat. Then see if you can hug the elbows a little closer together each breath, inviting your collarbones to widen, your chest to broaden. Let's actively lengthen the lower back. So as you're stretching the tailbone down, lift your back ribs. And now on the next breath in, lift your sternum. Peel your shoulder bones behind you and melt them down. Picture the area just beneath your shoulder blades. Right there, invite the bend in your back to tilt your chest and gaze up. For a few more breaths. Lifting your spine more vertically again. Spin the left heel down and align the right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot as though entering Warrior Two. So rotate your right outer hip beneath you to splay your right knee open towards your right pinky toe, while firming the top of your left thigh bone back. Open up the arms for a moment in Warrior Two. How's the breath? Let's bring the left shoulder into extension in this posture we're going into. So wrap the left arm behind as far as you can reach. Maybe you hold the right thigh or not. Now flip the right palm to face up and let's enter Peaceful Warrior. Keep the right knee bending, facing forward, and lift your spine. Then side bend towards the back of your room, raising the right arm overhead. Breathe deeply into the right side of your rib cage. Now on your next inhale, let's prepare for half moon pose. Crawl your right fingertips about 6 inches forward of your right pinky toe to the right outer corner onto the ground or on a block. Drag your left foot forward and raise the left leg behind you, flexing the foot. Now you can either open the left arm towards the sky, which is the traditional version of Ardha Chandrasana, or add another way to bring the left shoulder into extension by bending the left knee towards your belly so that your left hand can reach hold of the top of your left foot or ankle. Then kick the left foot towards the back of the room while you pull the foot towards your glute, rolling the left shoulder back as you engage your abdomen. While here, tack your right hip crease back towards your inner left knee. Then find a spot you can steady your eyes on for the last few breaths. So if you're in the bent knee version of this pose, it's called Ardha Chandra Chapasana. Let's prepare to step back into Warrior Two, straightening the left leg and listening to the breath. With a very slow exhalation, step the left foot to the rear of your mat and open the arms wide. Pause for one inhale, then exhale to downward facing dog. Maybe add a vinyasa. In downward facing dog, let the breath lead the movement. Breathing in, sweep your left leg behind you. Breathing out, step the left foot beside your left thumb. Stay high on the ball of your right foot. Inhale, rise to crescent lunge. Let's backstroke the arms, placing the hands on your lower back, fingertips pointing down. Direct your tailbone downward as you square both hips to face the front wall. Then lift the back ribs, actively stretching the lower back. Hug the elbows closer together to broaden the chest. And on your next inhale, lift your heart and roll the shoulders behind you. Now, right beneath the shoulder blades, invite the bend in the back to tilt the chest up for a few more breaths. Make sure not to collapse into the back of your neck here as you start to look up more. Lengthen the back of the neck. Lifting your spine more vertically, spin the right heel down. Align the left heel to intersect the arch of your right foot as you would in Warrior Two. Splay the left knee towards the pinky toe and firm the top of the right thigh bone back. Let's wrap the right arm behind your back, bringing the right shoulder into extension. Flip the left palm to face up and lifting the spine while keeping the left knee bent, side bend towards your rear wall. Peaceful warrior. Breathe deeply into your left wall of your rib cage. On the next inhale, rise up and let's prepare to shift forward for half moon pose. Walk your left fingertips forward into the left corner of your left pinky toe on the ground or on a block. As you raise the right leg, flex the foot, finding your balance. Stay here or come into Tripadasana, bending the right knee towards the belly, catching the top of the foot with the right hand, then kicking the foot back as you pull it towards your glute, rolling the right shoulder back into extension. Find a gazing point for your eyes and tune in to your breathing. Let the feeling of balance you cultivate in the breath emanate into this posture. When you're ready, straighten the right leg, and with a slow out breath, step into warrior two. Arms wide open, let in a deep breath. And this time, let's meet in child's pose. Vinyasa or not. Notice how your body is feeling at this point. Feel the waves of the breath in and out. On your next inhale, slowly roll your spine upright. And I'll invite you into 3 rounds of our last back bend camel pose, bringing both shoulders into extension. Ustrasana. For the first round, let's use the support of a block to stabilize the lower back. So grab a block, come to stand on your knees. If you need, put a blanket under the knees for more cushion or fold the mat thicker under them. Tuck the toes behind you, at least for this first one. Creates more stability below and the heels are higher to reach. Hug the block by the skinniest or the medium width between your knees and thighs. Choose a width that allows your knees to be your hips width apart. Hugging the block, encourage the outer hips to hug the lower spine. Then, like earlier, backstroke the arms and place your hands on your lower back with fingertips pointing down. Draw the tailbone actively towards the ground between the knees while lifting the back ribs, so you're stretching the lower back. Hug the elbows closer together to broaden the collarbones, then let in a deep breath, lifting your sternum. Soften the shoulders behind you and melt them down. Right under the shoulder blades, encourage your chest to tilt up while you lengthen the back of your neck. Tune into maybe about 5 breaths here before you come out of the posture to sit and rest. Now, if it's possible, you could reach one hand down to hold a heel right behind it, and then switch heels, switch hands, or hold both heels. Notice your breathing. When you're ready to come out, use your hands on your lower back for support to rise. And you may want to use that block as a stool between the ankles to sit on, pausing for 2 to 3 breaths, maybe resting the hands at heart center as you tune inward and observe how you feel. Now you're on your own for 2 more cycles of camel pose, 5 or more breaths each. Decide if you'll use a block for that added lower back support or no block. Tuck the toes, more stability, easier reach, or untuck the toes, let the heels be further to reach. Take it on your own and take your time. Remember to sit and rest for 2 to 3 breaths in between your last 2 camel poses. And when you're moving into camel, make sure to keep your pelvis forward, stacking right above the knees the entire posture. Not going any further than you need, where you're not, making sure you're not impinging on the lower back. Make sure you've given yourself a few breaths to rest after your third and final back bend. When you have, let's meet sitting with the legs in front of you for a seated spinal twist. Straightening the left leg in front, step the right foot in front of the right hip, and flex both feet. Cross the left hand to hold your outer right foot, or you could loop a strap around the foot and hold the strap instead. Place the right hand on the ground behind your pelvis, and then sit up a little taller as you breathe in. Now, kick the right foot forward off the ground to whatever degree you can straighten the leg so that your spine stays vertical and the shoulders relax. On your next breath out, begin to twist to the right. Optional to raise your right arm towards the back wall and gaze towards it. Each inhale, press down with your pelvis, lengthen up through the spine. Each exhale, soften the shoulders down and keep turning the rib cage. Now on the breath out, bend the right knee to hug the left thigh, and let's come into half cow face pose. And you could place a strap around the ball of the left foot and hold the strap with 2 hands, or have the hands alongside the hips and eventually take hold of the foot. So sit up a little taller as you breathe in, and then extend your heart forward as you're breathing out, little by little. Ardha Gomukhasana. Press down with the hips. Inhale, slowly rise. Let's straighten the right leg forward. Step the left foot on the ground, just in front of the left hip, bending the knee. Place the left hand on the ground behind the pelvis. Cross the right hand to catch your outer left foot or to hold a strap around the ball of the foot. Flex both feet, and as you press the sitting bones down, sit up a little taller and kick the left foot forward towards straightening the leg. Make sure that your spine stays vertical here. As you breathe out, turn your rib cage to the left. Maybe reach the left arm towards the back of the room and gaze towards it. So incrementally, with each breath, exploring the depth of your twist. On your next breath out, unwind and bend the left knee to stack over the right knee for cow face pose, the half version. You might place a strap around the right foot flexed or have your hands alongside your hips to start. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, fold forward. Little by little. Press down to your sitting bones. Inhale to slowly rise. Let's bend the knees apart for Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of your feet together to touch. As you slide the heels close to your groins, plug the sitting bones down and lift up through your chest and the back of your skull. Breathing in here. And as you breathe out, explore forward folding. Next breath in, lead with your chest to slowly rise. Before we enter Shavasana and meditation, I invite you into one more pranayama to help us tune deeper inward and relax more deeply. So you may like to sit on a block or two, find a comfortable way to feel upright in the spine, grounded and relaxed. This practice is called Nodi Shodhana Pranayama, or alternate nostril breathing. It's done with the lips closed, and this time breathing so softly that you probably can't even hear the breath. Very sustained and gentle. Resting your left hand on your lap, you might choose to place the hand in Gyan Mudra, which is the palm face up and thumb and index finger touching. This helps to tune the attention inward. The right hand is placed in Vishnu Mudra, in which you stick out the thumb, pinky, and ring fingers. In alternate nostril breathing, or Nodi Shodhana Pranayama, we'll use the right thumb to close the right nostril like this, and the right ring and pinky fingers to close the left nostril like this. Alternate nostril breathing. Let's practice 3 cycles together and continue for 3 cycles on your own before we let go of controlling the breath and observe the effects. As you're practicing this breathing technique, you might close your eyes and really concentrate on where you're breathing in and out from. Let's prepare to start by breathing in fully through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Then close the mouth. Close the right nostril with right thumb. Inhale through left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it in for 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it out. 2, 1. Stay here. Inhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Second cycle. Inhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Inhale right. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Third cycle. Inhale left for 6. Hold for 2. Close left. Exhale right for 6. Hold 2. Inhale right for 6. Hold 2. Close right. Exhale left for 6. Hold 2. Continue 3 more cycles on your own. Taking your time when you finish, relax into natural breathing and observe how you feel. And as you continue to tune inward, take your time to lower your body to the ground so that you can lie down and rest in stillness for a few minutes in Shavasana. Eyes closed, breath natural. As you rest here a little longer, notice how your body feels now. Very gently begin to move and wake up your body, easing into simple stretches. And gradually turning over onto your right side, resting your head. Pause on your side for a few moments, observing the quality of your natural breath. and through it, observing your energy. How have you affected your energy through your practice so far? And when you're ready, begin to lift your body slowly into a comfortable seated pose for meditation of 5 minutes. Now you might like to continue placing the hands in Gyan Mudra like in the breathing practice. Maybe close the eyes or gently stare softly downcast. I invite you into a few mindful, deep breaths in and out through the nose. And letting your attention follow the movement of each breath. And letting the breath be smooth and feel almost effortless in its expansion and release. And after a few more deep breaths, on your own, breathe naturally again. And continue to follow the breath in your mind's eye, resting your awareness gently on the inflow and the outflow. If your attention wanders away, the mind starts to do things. Practice letting go of doing in the mind and rest back on the flow of the breath. What do you notice about your breathing now? How does your mind feel? As we change the way we breathe, we can shift how we feel mentally, physically, emotionally. And we can also allow space for how we feel. How might you integrate the practice of consciously regulating the breath as you might need outside of this formal practice of yoga in your daily life? Notice how it affects you. I invite you to acknowledge something that you appreciate right now as we bring our practice to a close. Return to your intention for this practice. And remember to whom you dedicated it. And together, let's join our voices in 3 ohms. Let the breath in. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.